What's up, Mecha fans, and welcome back to the channel. So we are now about 5 days into 2025, but that does not stop us from looking back at the previous year being 2024 and doing a bit of a reflection, whilst also looking forward to what is to come in 2025 for this channel. Before we dive into that though, please do leave a like on this video and subscribe if you are a fan of Mecha anime content and want to see plenty more videos like this in the future. Essentially, this video is a channel update, if you will, where, like I said, I'm going to be looking back at 2024 and some of the things that kind of went on there, whilst also looking forward to some of the content that you guys can expect in 2025. But starting off, of course, with 2024. Now, I think it's safe to say that this was the best year for the channel ever, in terms of views, in terms of engagement. I would probably personally say in terms of content, I thoroughly enjoyed all of the content that I put out this year, and for the most part, it all did like pretty successfully. Even the things that didn't do so well was still like relatively successful, at least in my eyes, at least compared to previous years anyway, because there'd be a lot of stuff that I put out that people just didn't watch, which is fair enough, because the channel was very scattershot, even though it was focused on anime and Japanese gaming, which generally, it's kind of niche in a way. Like it is a niche. It's not completely scattershot, but it still wasn't quite the niche where everyone would watch like every piece of content, if that makes any sense. We started off with about 2,000 subscribers, and then we ended off the year almost at 4,000 subscribers, which we are nearly at now. As of me recording this video, we're at about 3,950 or so, so we've got about 40 to 50 subscribers to go until we hit that 4,000 mark, which is very, very exciting. So the way I'm seeing it, essentially we're going into this year 2025 with about 4,000 subscribers, which is double what we went into 2024 with. So for that, thank you guys, of course. Like, that is down to you. It's not really down to me because I'm not the person subscribing, 2,000 times on separate accounts. That is all down to you guys. But I think in terms of content, in terms of the stuff I've personally put out and how I felt about it, I think 2024 was probably my personal favorite year, where I thoroughly enjoyed not only making the content, but also putting it out to you guys, making the thumbnails, editing it, all that kind of stuff. I just had a great year in terms of that. Let's just talk about the major, elephant in the room, if you will, because I started off 2024 as MChat and then ended off the year as Mecha. Somewhere in between there, which was about April, May time, I did decide to, of course, switch the content over. So for those of you that are new here, I did used to talk entirely or primarily about anime and Japanese gaming. There's a whole back history of me talking about movies on the channel. I used to do that kind of content. Then I switched to anime and Japanese gaming, and then I kind of niched into this mecha genre. So talking about mecha anime and also mecha video games. Mostly mecha anime, of course, I'm sure most of you subscribe for that kind of stuff, but I do like to talk about mecha video games as well. So I guess that was the big change in 2024, was that, yeah, massive change in terms of content. In terms of the opportunities I got this year, though, there were really two major ones. The first off is I finally got to work with companies and brands, which was very, very exciting. I think now that I switched the content over to being mecha focused, it's not only easier for me to find brands and companies to reach out to and kind of sell my channel on, sell my content on, if you will, but also for them to find me and reach out to me to hopefully, promote either their products or services relating to Mecha. And it's obviously just a win-win situation there, where I get some cool stuff from them, maybe get paid by them in some cases, but also they get, my audience really, which now is about 4,000 subscribers nearly. So that was really cool, and I hope to do a lot more of that in 2025. If you guys have seen kind of some of my content, you'll probably know who I've worked with and stuff like that, and kind of the videos that I've done with them. So that's really cool, and I really hope to not only work with some of those brands and companies in 2025, but also maybe some more as well, which we'll talk about quite soon. But I also got an application accepted for my very first Creator Pass at MCM London back in October, and that was a great experience being there. I would have gone either way, even if I didn't get accepted, but it was just cool to kind of have that acknowledgement for, an event to kind of say yeah, we've looked at your content and we think that you're a good fit for us to provide this to you. So that was really cool, and it was really kind of affirming for me, as a content creator. All of this stuff is kind of affirmation that I'm doing something right. And that was ultimately 2024. Like I said, it was a fantastic year for the channel, both in terms of the numbers and the analytics and all that kind of stuff and the growth, but also in terms of opportunities that came around, and also being introduced to new people, which is always a great experience in and of itself. Now though, let's look to the year ahead, and I've kind of split this into two parts, where I've got some goals, but I've also got some plans. There's only really two goals, because I don't want to set myself I don't want to set myself major goals this year. I just kind of want to continue on a trajectory of seeing where things go. Like, I'm open to things just happening and falling into place, and as we move throughout the year, of course, I will kind of figure things out along the way. I don't want to go into the year being like, this is what I want to do, and kind of have a checklist, because that kind of takes the fun and creativity out of things sometimes. But in terms of goals, the first one is that I do want to surpass 5,000 subscribers by the end of spring. I'm kind of thinking end of May, start of June, which I think is reasonable. Like, it's kind of following the path, or the trajectory, path, whatever you want to call it, of last year, where gained essentially 2,000 subscribers last year, and split that in half. That's 1,000 subscribers every 6 months, and that's kind of how I'm seeing this. I hope the growth is maybe more than that, but for now, setting it at 5,000 subscribers, hoping to get that by the end of spring, or basically halfway through the year. The other goal that I have, this is definitely 100% down to me and not really down to you guys to help me get there, but I want to work with Bandai, which maybe is a lofty expectation on my part. Most of my content is Gundam related. If it's not Gundam related, it's actually related to stuff that Bandai does anyway. Obviously, like, they don't own Evangelion, they don't own Code Geass, but they do own Synduality, and that's a series that I've been making, or a franchise that I've been making content around. I don't feel like many other people have. Maybe it might work in my favor, we'll see, but that is something I would like to do in 2025, is either work with Bandai, be in contact with them, anything like that. So if anyone is actually watching this channel and knows Bandai, has contacts there, and would like to put my name forward, if you will, like, I'm just throwing it out there. I'd like to work with Bandai. I think it'd be a really cool experience. And like I said, a lot of my content is Gundam related, so I'm not exactly a terrible fit for them and what they do. On to the 2025 plans though. For the most part, this is pretty self-explanatory. The kind of trajectory that I'm seeing is very similar to what I've been doing. We're going to get 2025 Gundam releases, whether that's Zcax, potentially Seed Freedom Zero, potentially the Iron Blooded Orphans Erda Hunt OVA or series or movie, whatever it's going to be. We're going to get Gundam content in 2025. And of course, I am going to cover that Gundam content in 2025. That's self-explanatory. I do a lot of Gundam content, so like obviously all the new Gundam releases I'm going to talk about. You guys probably expected that. We're also expecting a lot more Mecha games this year. Just off the top of my head, we've got stories from Soul the Gundog, we've obviously got Synduality Echo of Ada, Mecha Break, War Robots Frontiers. Those 4 games I think are releasing within like the first half of the year. Also, there's Macross Shooting Inside as well, that's coming out I think in March. So we basically got like a mecha game almost every month, for the most part anyway. So there's a lot more mecha games releasing this year, and I'm going to probably cover all of them, if not most of them. But also, there are some mecha games that I either haven't played before, or I want to go back and replay if I have played them like ages ago, that I do want to talk about on the channel. For example, there's some like really classic ones like Front Mission, Zone of the Enders, and more like a modern classic, if you will, in 13 Sentinels, Aegis Rim. But also, there is one particular game that I do want to replay, and I've been wanting to replay it for a while. I think the servers are still up for it, but if they're not, I'll just play the campaign, and that is Titanfall 2, which, of course, released back in 2016. I never really looked at it as a mecha game there, I just kind of looked at it as, oh, cool, big robot transformer type thing. I do want to go back to that game and give it a little bit of a replay and guess a revisited kind of video for 2025, so that's going to be really cool. So like I said, a lot of mecha game content I want to do within 2025. We'll see. Like, the Gundam stuff's probably going to take more priority because it's generally more successful. That's what my channel's more known for. But yeah, I'd like to dive more into some mecha games. So if you guys have any like ideas of like more classic ones, or like ones that I can actually get hold of and play. For context, I own a Switch, I own a PS5, and I own an Xbox Series X. Anything that's playable on those 3 consoles, I am down to play. So let me know down in the comment section below any mecha games that you would recommend. Alongside new Gundam projects and also new mecha anime series releasing in 2025, we do have quite a few celebrating some major anniversaries, of which I did a video basically talking about the major Gundam anniversaries of 2025. It was only a short, so if you guys want to check that out, it's not too far back on the channel, so you'll probably find it quite easily. The major ones really are Gundam Wing celebrating 30th anniversary, Zeta Gundam celebrating 40th, and then Iron Blooded Orphans celebrating 10th. There's a few more, I think Unicorn celebrating 15th, and the Origins celebrating 10th. So yeah, there's quite a few anniversaries, but in terms of the ones that are probably going to get like celebrations and new content around them, whether it's like a new spin-off or anime or whatever it may be, or just simply like more marketing and advertising around those anniversaries, Wing, Zeta, and Iron Blooded Orphans are probably the ones that will get more around that. So likely that's where more of the content will come in. But those series in particular, I don't want to watch this year for the first time. Zeta, Gundam Wing, They celebrate their anniversaries within the first few months of the year, so expect those to be high priority and probably getting videos quite soon. And then Iron Blooded Orphans is more towards the end of the year, but I'll probably watch it before then because, you know, considering Iron Blooded Orphans celebrating its 10th anniversary, like I mentioned earlier, we've got Iron Blooded Orphans Urda Hunt somewhere on the horizon. I thought it was going to release last year, but it didn't, so I would probably expect it to release this year and tie it in with the 10th anniversary. It just makes logical sense from like a marketing and, you know, anything perspective. Iron Blooded Orphans is more in the minds of people, so release a new project. Like I said, it just simply makes sense to do that. Probably the biggest anniversary in terms of mecha stuff this year, though, is the 30th anniversary of Neon Genesis Evangelion, which they've already released the 30th anniversary logo thing, and they've also done a little bit of merchandise, which looks really cool. I want to go big on this one. Like, there's so much content I want to do around Evangelion, which I've kind of been holding off on. I'm going to rewatch it probably earlier in the year. We'll do a revisited thing. I've never seen End of Evangelion, so I'm going to watch that for the first time. Never seen, was it Death True or Death Rebirth? I forgot what it's called, but the kind of other film thing that exists, I've never seen that either. So both of those I want to watch for the first time. I'll probably do some videos around the Rebuild series as well, rankings. There's so many ideas for Evangelion content that I've not done on the channel, which I would really like to do. So 30th anniversary makes the most sense. And that's content that's going to be like continuous throughout the year. It's probably going to start from, I don't know, like March time, maybe February, March time, and then I'm just going to continue that all throughout the year. So expect a lot more Evangelion content this year to celebrate the 30th anniversary. It's my favorite anime series. This is the great opportunity for me to actually dive into this and make more videos on it and actually talk about it more on the channel, because whilst I've talked about it a little bit before, it's not quite as much as I would have liked to. And then finally, to end off this video, I guess my big plan for this year is that I am intending to go to Japan. Around late summer, autumn time, they've got the World Expo going on and there's a big Gundam segment to that, the Next Future Pavilion. I really want to visit that, so I essentially need to go before October, because October is when it ends. It goes from April to October of 2025, so I need to go before October. Also, Evangelion does actually celebrate its 30th anniversary in October, so I want to kind of tie those two things together, because I think there'll probably be some really cool Evangelion like events and stuff going on then. It's probably going to be going on throughout the year, to be honest, in terms of Evangelion 30th anniversary. They've already started advertising it, like I said, so we'll probably see various things throughout the year for that. But I do want to, you know, kind of tie all that together and go at the right time where everything kind of fits together nicely. My birthday is in September, so it kind of lines up nicely, so I can probably basically go as a 25th birthday present to myself. I'm hoping to maybe do vlogs, some sort of content around it. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, it's still a while away. I've not even booked it. I've not even looked at booking it yet. I don't know how much it's going to cost. I haven't booked flights and nothing like that, so I need to actually properly try and plan for this thing. But expect some content around it, even if it's just like, you know, me kind of filming some stuff and throwing it together and showing it to you guys. I don't really know, but all I'm saying is that I'm planning to go to Japan this year. I'm really hoping for it. So that is probably my personal big plan, but also I guess it can relate to content as well. But like I said, it's more of a personal thing for me. I'm just excited. That is it. That is all of my kind of plans, and I guess my roadmap, if you will, that I've kind of created for 2025. Like I said earlier, though, like none of this is set in stone. Like these things can change. Generally, you know, a lot of stuff that I mentioned in terms of plans is self-explanatory stuff and stuff that will come. But there are some things that I probably mentioned that maybe I won't get around to, maybe I'll decide not to do. Who knows? The future is always uncertain, so none of this stuff is set in stone. There's obviously things that will come along that will switch things up, and other content that I've not mentioned here that I will create. But generally, that is kind of my reflection on 2024 and how great a year it has been, and also looking at 2025 and seeing how great a year it could potentially be. Before I get out there though, please do leave a like on this video and subscribe if you're a fan of mecha anime content and want to see plenty more videos like this in the future. Also, like I said earlier, head on down to the comment section below. Let me know your general reflections and thoughts on 2024. Any cool things that you did, any cool things that maybe happened to you, and also what are your kind of hopes and goals and plans and all that kind of stuff for 2025. Thank you once again for tuning into Mecha Chat today. I'll see you guys next time.